Phoenix Down Radio is on the air. With your hosts,
Klaus Nightbringer,
Fair Kimono,
Chili,
and Luna Vox.
Welcome everybody to Phoenix Down Radio, episode number 47. How's everybody doing today?
Doing pretty
not too
damn
bad.
Yeah.
We got some new people in the chat today here at Twitch, and the intro scared the crap out of them, and it usually does.
Sorry. Sorry.
Sorry, not sorry, but welcome to Phoenix Down Radio.
We are here.
We make sure you guys are awake for the show. We do this every other Saturday night live from twitch.tv/Phoenix Down Radio. So if you're listening to us in the future on the podcast, come check us out sometime. We'll make it worth it. And if you're on Hyperion and you want to join us live, we are currently at the Phoenix Down Radio Free Company House in Lavender Beds, Ward 2, Plot 51. We're in the upstairs studio, so stop up if you want to say hi.
They might not come over though because something big is about to happen.
Yeah,
hopefully.
We're gonna give everybody a warning right now. Currently, the Ixion window is open because of the maintenance that we had, and everybody wants that Ixion mount. So
It is beautiful.
It is really cool. I was still working on storyline a lot when Ixion popped a lot, so I didn't get a chance to get it myself.
I also just want to see him in the face.
But if he pops, Luna and I are gonna go do it. So
Yeah, we're
so those of us watching live, you'll get to see that. Hopefully, it doesn't impact the quality of the podcast, though. So we'll.
What are we hunting now? I'm in.
Ixion. I don't know if you're quite out at the locks yet.
Damn it!
Sorry.
Level 67.
Yeah, you got another
Hello,
2 levels, I think. Well, just push it, just do the thing. Come on.
Yeah, just do it.
I have got
Push it to the limit.
Could you have not gone with salt and pepper?
God damn it, Chili.
Could you have not done salt and pepper's push it? Push it real good. Anyway.
Hold off. We don't want to get the podcast with a cease and desist. Come on.
Oh, come on. The only season this is my singing.
Anyway.
Push it real
Ooh,
good.
baby. There.
It seems like everything that I say, they do the opposite. So
Exactly.
But anyway,
Hit me, baby, one more time.
how have you guys been the
we're
last
done.
2 weeks since the last episode?
busy.
Real busy, right?
Busy.
I gained almost 2 levels in Fisherman just from direct catches.
Ooh.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
We don't either.
Running in circles at the goblet.
Luna, what have you been up to?
Yeah. I've actually been working on my samurai. I got her to what level? Level 56 today.
Cool.
And then I've also been
And you've got Summoner and
else have I been
Scholar up
doing?
to 70, right?
Yep, I got my Summoner and Scholar up to 70, and what else have I been working on? I've been working on fishing, actually, too. Like, I've been doing direct catches, and I got it up to 67, so...
Wow.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah.
as you can see from my lovely hat, I finally hit Red Mage 70 last night. Actually, technically this
Congratulations.
morning. I streamed for 7.5 hours yesterday.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Good life choices.
Hey, well, I figured it was Friday. I was going to do the thing. I wanted to be Red Mage for the show. The things I do for you
It's
guys.
Friday. Gotta get Red Mage on Friday.
Yeah, Klaus, you were doing it for us. That's totally the reason.
Exactly.
Tombstone grind on the weekend.
But so I got that, and but other than that, I mean, it's been an amazing 2 weeks for the show as well. Our Twitch sub button is live, and we have gotten some wonderful subscribers. So thank you to everybody. If you really like the
No
show,
problem.
Yes, thank you.
If you really like the show and you want to support us here on Twitch, feel free to go ahead and hit that. There are 3 levels of subscription, and all 3 levels have their own special emotes right now. The base level, you get the Phoenix Down Radio logo. at the $10 level, you get the Sayers Love Lore icon. And then at the amazing $24.99 level, one
Which
easy
will be
payment, we have the amazing, the phenomenal, the Lava Scorpion.
Praise Lava Scorpion.
Yes.
Important note: Love Lore is totally different from Love Lore. You do not have to be sad and lonely to get Love Lore.
But
it doesn't hurt.
It's because we love lore. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even if you're lovelorn.
Yeah.
So we've got that. We also got a bunch of new patrons out on our Patreon page, patreon.com/PhoenixDownRadio. So I want to thank everybody who has subscribed and joined us as a patron by name. So we've got new patrons, Kylan Dare. I apologize if I totally slaughtered that name. I see you in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Vivi239, Aurori, and Ivana Amatis are the new patrons for the last 2 weeks. And our new subs, along with myself and Chili, we've got Nick Nar, Kane, and Aurori as subscribers. So thank you so much for all of your support. You guys are the reason we're able to continue to get better and improve things. And I do want to announce we are going to do 2 contests for our paid followers. On Patreon, we are 1 person away from 10 patrons. When we hit that 10 mark, I'm going to do a special giveaway of, I think we're going to do $25 credit on the Mog Station. So you can either get...
maybe a little Chili has something to give away if you guys want it as well. I forgot to say this.
Okay. Oh, is it...
I have...
Go ahead.
I have I have a maid outfit and a butler outfit and a white chocobo code.
Ooh.
Okay.
EU only.
Oh, okay. So if there's an EU person who would like that, contact us. We'll figure out how to give that away.
Someone contacted me on Twitter with them. So
very cool. So that's going to be our Patreon giveaway. So once we get our 10th patron, we're going to give away $25 in Mog Station credit. For our subscribers on Twitch, once we hit 10 new followers, I'm not including my number. But I'm including Chili in the numbers, but he's not eligible. Once we hit 10,
I'm not eligible.
Once we hit 10 other subscribers, I'm going to be giving away a $20 PlayStation gift card.
Think of how many Fantasias you could buy.
Can you use that to buy?
Not PSN vouchers.
But you can use... Or we'll figure something out. So what we're going to do, Mog Station for Patreon. We're going to do PlayStation code for Twitch.
Seems legit.
So it's just a way to thank you guys for supporting us. Once we get to those support levels, and then we're going to continue to do giveaways like that when we hit 10 more each time. So when we hit 20, we'll do another giveaway. 30, we'll do another giveaway, and so on and so forth. So it's our way of saying thank you for your support and, to build up the hype for the show. So thank you guys.
Thank you very much, Nick Nar.
Oh, thank you, Nick
Holy
Nar.
crap,
25.
Nick Nar.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
So he's now our first $25 sub.
Wait, Nick Nar.
He wanted that lava scorpion really badly.
He needed the lava scorp. That's amazing. Thank you, Nick Nar. We also did create a new Facebook group for the podcast. It's at facebook.com/groups/PhoenixDownRadio. It's an open public group, so stop by, join the group. We can discuss anything Final Fantasy or show related, just as long as you keep it civil and respectful. That's all we ask. Otherwise, let's have some fun.
Wait, when was the respectful part added? I don't remember this.
But Chili, you're probably the most respectful out of all of us. That's the sad part.
I guess that's true.
Wow, Klaus, you look super scruffy.
That was out of left field.
I liked your T-shirt. That's disrespectful, right? No, shit, got it wrong again.
I don't think I've ever heard Chili swear. I'm just saying now.
I don't think so either.
Him just saying shit was like, whoa,
Yeah,
whoa.
a little bit, yeah.
Who are you?
Nick Nar, I think in order to get that, you have to log out and log back in to Twitch, and then it should be refreshed.
Just refresh.
Or yeah, something like that. But then you should get it, and then it'll be you should see it in there. All right.
Or if you type whatever it is, you might be able to get it.
Anything else you guys want to talk about before we jump into gaming community?
Have we talked about the hotfix? I can't remember.
That'll be in the gaming community.
Okay, now I shall wait till
All
then.
right. So they announced Producer Live Letter 37. It's going to be next Saturday at 2:30 a.m. Pacific time. They're going to be doing it on YouTube, Twitch, and Nico Nico. Well, I mean, it's not so bad for us, Luna. That's, 4:30 a.m.? Okay, that's terrible. What am I talking about?
I've gotten used to them being like good about the time zones and like, oh, hey, this is reasonable for me. But now,
well, this one's in Japan. That's why it's back to the normal shitty times.
No, you go back to your shitty times and be better on ours.
Yeah, cater to us casual, filthy, disgusting
I don't
Americans.
pay $15 a month to do this shit.
They don't pay. Oh wait, they do.
All right, so, special guest art director Hiroshi Minagawa will be joining Yoshida as they talk about 4.0 and some art stuff. And I don't believe it's going to be all in Japanese. I believe Matt will be doing some translation of the Q&A on the official forums, as well as probably Marco Turn and Mr. Happy will be doing a live stream to go with the producer live letter and do some unofficial translating.
Yeah, they only really do official translating on an actual expansion.
Yeah,
no. Or
if they're in a US or EU market. If it's in Japan, it's straight Japanese.
Yeah.
I'm so sad.
Okay. Luna, you've still got time to enter this one. The and action screenshot contest is live. The entry period runs from now until July 14th at 7 p.m. Pacific time. Use the group pose to capture your favorite battle action or ability in a stunning screenshot. 50 winners will receive an in-game item prize, and from those, 3 grand prize winners will be selected to win a prize package including 3 Final Fantasy XIV Taito figurines. Your skills in battle are tried and true, heroes, but can you capture the heat of the moment? It's time for lights, camera, and action! Full details?
I'll just go...
Yep.
Okay.
Somebody say it.
I saw an absolutely gorgeous one of someone who caught a monk in mid-kick. It was just really great.
What's cool?
Like,
Go ahead.
Like, sometime, go to a training dummy, turn off the flat, like, some of the battle actions so you can see what's going on, and actually stand back and watch the animations you go through. Some of them are actually really cool looking. You look really badass.
Mm-hmm. And I believe they've set it to now in G-Pose you can repeat the last battle action that you did.
And can you step through it just like you can with other poses?
I think so. I believe that was a feature they added with Stormblood, so...
Yes, you can pause them.
I believe that's why they have this particular contest going, so people will get used to using it. It is available for North American subscribers only, so again, sorry, Chili. You guys do get your own, so...
Yeah, I'll go. No, we haven't had one for ages.
Well, you need to talk with Just Ben or somebody over there on the EU side and be like, hey, guys, what's going on?
Yeah, I want to do a thing.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ! So I'm looking through the entry. I'm looking through the entry thing right now, and there's already 52 pages.
Wow,
of
that's
entries.
Good.
That's impressive.
That is.
Wow.
That's really cool. I'm glad to see that. I mean, because there weren't very many entries in the Heavens Dub contest.
That kind of makes sense, though. I mean, not a lot of people are going to get too heavily into.
Whereas a screenshot's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, video editing was a lot more work. I think I'm not gonna enter this one because we did win the last one.
A screenshot of yourself being really, really awesome. Like, there's a personal appeal to it as well.
Yeah. So making yourself look as good as possible.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you've got until the end of the week, basically, next week or midweek, isn't it? Was it Thursday? What day is that?
One of these days.
Friday. You got till next Friday to get that entry done.
Wow.
Wait. My correction. There's 88 pages.
Damn.
It's expanding.
Okay.
So go enter
We've
that.
got
I mean,
glorious. We've got gorgeous. We've got kind of fun. Oh wow, you people are.
wait, what?
Wow.
All right.
No, I'm just being rather impressed at what's already here.
Moving on. We're not discouraging you guys from entering. So, I mean, if you think you can take a good shot, go ahead and enter. I mean, there's a lot of chances to win.
I found some new wallpapers.
I believe in everyone that is in this chat.
I believe in a
That's
thing
not
called
American.
love.
I do.
Patch 4.01 released on Tuesday. And with
Oh,
that,
boy.
we
Yay.
got a few new job updates. We got some new items. And we got the first look at Omega. Have you guys run it yet? Well, Sarah, I know you haven't.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
I have.
So, of those of us who have thoughts, no spoilers.
I like
Amazing.
the direction. I like the direction.
Sarah, you're going to like it.
So how is it in terms of gameplay and mechanics?
Fun.
Fun.
It's fun.
Like,
You want to strike that nice balance between like still kind of challenging and interesting without being unfair.
I found the second one the hardest to do the
Really?
first time.
For us, it was the third and the fourth one.
For me, it was the third.
I hate.
The third one was the floor
mechanic
one,
in the
right?
second one that would all pester me.
Yeah, that mechanic. Once you get used to that mechanic in the second one, you're talking about the action button.
No, well, no, not really. I'm talking about the bit where you gotta run to the middle.
Oh, okay, I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah, okay, yeah.
We one shot
Yeah.
the first two, so those are kind of
Yeah.
I don't remember those as well. The third and the fourth ones we ran a couple of extra times. I mean, we wiped on the fourth one a couple of times, but
No, we worked on the second one about 3 times before we worked out what we were doing, and then on the second time, third one and fourth one, we kind of one shot it.
I'm wondering with
And the
this. Go ahead, Chili.
And the first one we one shot as well.
Okay, very nice. I'm wondering if they're going to. I'm going to say this without being spoilery. Deltascape is based off of a specific Final Fantasy game. I'm not going to say which one for those who haven't done it. For those who have run it, you know which one it is. I'm wondering if they're going to use a different Final Fantasy for each Deltascape, or for each level.
I'm calling the same one for all of them.
Well, the reason I'm saying that is because they kind of went pretty. I mean, they went to the end on the first one already.
We'll see. I'm calling it that one.
You think it's going to be just that
one?
He got it working. Oh, way to go, Nick Nar.
Woo!
Woohoo!
You're an amazing person. Thank you. But
And I am a bit jealous.
But I guess I hope they do a different one for a different Final Fantasy for each one, because the way they made it sound, how it's set up, the story behind it is really cool, and it really could delve from any Final Fantasy lore. So it's very nice. I'm digging it. I'm really digging it. I'm anxious to see what we get not Tuesday, but the following Tuesday for Savage. Any other thoughts on it?
I do know that one of the fights will be different in Savage.
Well, I hope they're all slightly different.
No, I'm talking about it has an actual bit in it that's not in normal.
That's usually what happens. There's a piece that gets quote unquote added in by the Wanderer Minstrel
on the final floor.
Well, I mean, look at A8 Savage versus A8. You get the whole winged phase versus that wasn't available in the first one.
And the amazing fire tornado of justice.
Speaking of rating, I kind of figured out something that I didn't really know earlier, but I don't know if it's the A rank or S rank, but out in the locks, Living Liquid is got a new job.
Yeah, that's actually the S rank.
Yeah, he apparently everyone gave up on him.
Yeah, Jigglypuff got bored in Alex and decided to go for a walk in the locks.
Yep.
So yeah.
Also, people need to clear me Susano Extreme.
Oh, I got that clear finally. Found a really cool group.
They're both on farm for me.
I
The
haven't.
season part for you alone.
Oh, have you seen that picture of Susanos? They're revelicious.
What?
Yeah, someone's photoshopped a picture of Susano with a bowl of cereal.
Womp womp. I need.
Something like the milk parts for me alone.
I need to do. I need to run Lakshmi yet. So Luna, you're gonna carry me through Lakshmi, right?
I can help you. I don't know if I can carry you.
No, I know. I want to just go into it sometime with a group that knows what's going on and is willing to help out.
I can
So
help
the-
you with
we can do
Lakshmi.
For Susano, the one I actually liked was a triptych of screenshots, two of them being ancient art pieces of Susano fighting, what was it, Yamato no Orochi, or I forget the exact name, the famous eight-headed serpent in two of them, and then the
Oh,
third one
yeah.
being Susano defeating the 8-player party.
I saw that too. That was pretty cool.
It kind of makes sense. He's
Mhm.
fighting the eight-headed serpent again. It's just that the serpent is us.
Yes. So we're the bad, and we should feel bad. But no,
Horrible people.
I finally got my Susano clear with a really awesome group from
Nice.
Excalibur, and I found them in the Party Finder. So a shout out to the Tank Bros out on Excalibur. Thank you. I look forward to hanging out with you guys again. I've got their Discord, so we'll definitely be doing that again. So
Nice.
But yeah, I don't mind helping with Lakshmi. I've cleared her quite a lot, so.
all right. So let's move on from that. Like I said, if you have a community event or something like that going on and you want us to advertise it for you or let people know about it, you can always email us, podcast@phoenixstarradio.com. We'll be more than happy to talk about your event. Just give us plenty of advance notice so we can make sure to get it out there and advertise it for you guys. So,
Free advertisement. Free advertisement.
well,
And we don't bite.
we want
Unless you
to,
ask.
spread the love for all these cool things that are happening within the community. So. All right, so the discussion topic for this week was actually something that Luna had brought up a little bit in the last episode. She had talked about the job balances and people complaining about how the jobs are playing now versus ARR and Heavensward. And we talked a little bit about it, but we had so much else going on, we kind of tabled it. So I thought, you know what? This would be a great time to go ahead and come in and discuss it again. So we've been seeing it a lot, not only, us talking about it, but within social media, on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. But we've been seeing it in party chat. We've been seeing it in shout chat all across the servers, that there's a lot of complaints about how the jobs in Stormblood, both the old jobs and the new ones, aren't really feeling balanced and cohesive.
Holy Spirit!
Triggered. Now we all in the podcast here have some pretty strong opinions on the things that we want to discuss, but we also asked you guys to contact us and weigh in on the topic, and we got a bunch of good emails on that. So we're going to start by talking about the things that you guys brought up to us, and then we'll kind of piggyback on that, and we'll go through that in our discussion today. So this first email, who wants to read that?
I guess I can.
Okay, Luna. Yeah, clear that throat.
Sorry.
That throat.
Mm-hmm.
That throat. All right. All I see is Chili's icon bouncing around.
Damn it, Chili, stop bouncing around.
Okay, this is Chewbacca. I have only played with Paladin, Samurai, and White Mage, so I can't really give a comparison between the similar jobs. But I have been having a lot of fun for the first time in quite some time. And I take the comments that I have heard as a grain of sand. My only gripe is that there is no healer or tank to lessen the wait time for Duty Finder. Other than that, the dumb down of the jobs seemed to be a nice change, but not sure if it was needed this early in the history of the game.
Thank you, Chewbacca, for emailing us that. Some good points. Like I said, I agree. I've only played a couple of jobs, so I can't weigh in on everything. And I'm gonna say is based on what I've heard from other people and opinions that I have had expressed to me and things that I've seen in the parties that I've run. So with that being said, I'm glad that they did something about the button bloat.
Yeah.
We needed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are jobs I am willing to play again because I do not feel overwhelmed by the number of things I have to watch out for and have
Yes.
on my bar.
Yeah, I'm thinking about picking up Summoner again, just because now I don't have all the dot management like I did before.
Yeah. Though
I've
All
been
the
messing
bajillion
around.
dots.
I've been messing around with Monk a bit.
Though I will say that there
Yay.
are a lot of summoner mains who are salty that they lost a lot of their dots. And they lost
screw them,
and they
I'm
lost a lot
happy.
of potency.
Yeah. I mean, like, Summoner really lost a lot of its AoE capability, it feels like.
I would say that
I kinda-
a lot
yeah.
of jobs have lost some of that. I mean, as a bard main, I lost a lot of AoE power there.
As a paladin, I've gained it.
Yeah, Chili took it
Yay.
all. Damn it, Chili.
Thanks, Chili.
Yay.
Thanks, Chili Bomba. Is that a thing? Can we make that a thing?
Well, once we get some
Chili
more
Bomba.
emotes, we'll make a Chili Bomba icon.
Oh god, what have I done? I'm sorry, everyone.
Though with that being said about the AoE, Bard is a lot of fun for me to play. The fact that I'm no longer a bow mage, I love that. I do pretty decent DPS, and I'm able to run around and stay out of the bad and continue to do damage. I think that my overall raid capability is good because it brings a lot of new what's the word I'm trying to think of here? A lot of new skills to the table, like the refresh and the TP regen, things like that.
Yeah, Klaus, refresh us. Refresh.
It's kind of sad.
Klaus, give me MP.
Refresh, please.
Refresh.
It's kind of sad that Bard is now the refresh whore instead of red mage, like in 11.
I mean, they were both refresh horse in 11.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. But like I said, Bards were red mages were specifically refresh. So yeah, you
Haste,
have.
please refresh.
Yeah,
Dispel.
haste and refresh.
Yeah, I'm so
Dispel.
glad I don't
What do you
have that
haste
as a
do?
red mage here in 14. Praise Lava
Dispel.
Scorpion. But going on to talking about a new job, red mage feels wonderful. I do like how it plays. It's a little slow to start, my personal opinion, but once it gets going, it is a high damage dealing and it is up in there and a lot of fun.
And I think more importantly than just whether it deals damage, I've heard a lot of people saying that it kind of has the feel of red mage that they wanted.
I mean, because you're
Like
you're casting, and then as soon as you build up enough points in your bar, you lunge in, you do a quick strike combos, you jump out, and you flare their ass.
Yeah, it has that feel of the rapid switches between magic and melee, the kind of generalist who's doing lots of different things.
And like I said,
That seems to be
they
something that people really wanted.
and they didn't make it so it was half-assed damage either. It does pretty decent damage. I've seen red mages pulling out 35, 36, 3700 DPS. So
I have no idea what numbers are good anymore. Numbers no longer mean anything.
I'm the numbers that I'm going off of are things that I've seen on Reddit posts. They're like Samurai right now, I think, is one of the top DPS. They're pulling
Yeah,
like
isn't it-
42 or 4300 DPS.
Isn't it Samurai Black Mage? No, Samurai Summoner Black Mage Red Mage.
Yeah, Red Mages was 4th, so that was amazing. Bard is
Sure.
down there a bit, but I mean, like I
Bard
said,
is
it gets to move a
7th, I
lot.
think.
It moves around, and I would rather have that than anything.
Yeah. There'll also be, I'm sure stuff will change out over time as people develop better rotations.
Okay,
Plus,
so I've
you-
talked about
yeah.
my stuff. Who wants to weigh in on their thoughts on their current mains?
There's a. You want to go first?
No, I have a very long rant. So
Okay, because I want to praise and rant. So
So I think Luna, Luna
I've-
will save yours for after Kane's letter there, I think. So
okay.
Yeah.
well, mine would probably go better after Kane because I'm a paladin and he is talking about warrior and dark knight.
and healer. So he talks about Luna in that
Yeah.
one too.
So let's just go ahead and read another letter then.
all right.
I'll go read Kane's.
Okay,
Aw.
go ahead.
Yay, Kane! Hey guys, Kane Forbreaker from the Phoenix Down Radio Free Company on Hyperion here.
Woo, cheap
which
plug.
you can see on Twitch. I'd like to start off by saying that since expansion, I've been seeing a few issues which revolve around some jobs being overpowered, others lackluster. It seems to be with Warrior, they took all that made it great and split between Paladin and Dark Knight, making them overpowered and Warrior not. Which is ironic, because Warrior still has overpower. I mean, as for healers, Luna could not expound on that more. But as a DPS, I've seen the overpowered nature of Red Mage and Samurai. They're great, don't get me wrong, but when you melt through sync content like Hot Knife through butter, there may be issues, but that's my take on it.
So I definitely have seen, I've been helping a friend of mine do his duty roulettes and get his Red Mage in there, and Red Mage definitely seems to carve up the synced content. I am starting to suspect they didn't worry quite as much about balancing it for the lower level stuff under the expectation that people are going to start at 50, and it's not necessarily as critical to have it balanced for the lower stuff.
That's definitely possible.
The only thing I wish they would do is they wish they'd made Raise and Cure a little bit lower, because it's a bit ridiculous that you get Raise at 64.
Yeah, I guess I can see that, but I mean, it's not necessary when you're leveling it up initially. So
it's not necessary, but it would be nice. The whole point is for a backup in case anything goes wrong. So,
but the thing is, it's one of the brand new jobs. So I figured they'll have it as a backup once you get into the new content.
Yeah. I guess,
I'll also mention that friend of mine who's been I've been helping level says that he gets great results out of just dual casting Drain, which you can set as your roll action.
Yep, Drain is one of those. As well, and it's a really powerful job. It is. I was able to get it up very easily through Palace of the Dead, and it just steamrolled through the content in there without any issues. I mean, we would go in with 3 Red Mages and a Samurai, and we would knock out floor 100 without a problem.
Huh. I wonder if that's going to be the preferred job for trying to solo Palace for that achievement now.
With it won't have Raise, though, but it will have Vercure.
Well, I mean, if you're trying to solo it, Raise doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. And you'll have.
Well, the sustain potions are amazing as well, by the way.
So, okay, what does a sustain potion do?
It heals you over time. Gives you a regen effect. It's about 2,000 HP a tick.
Oh, wow.
Okay, that's a pretty impassive rate in there.
So
it's only for about 15 seconds, but
okay, so it's basically a quick hot.
Yeah.
All right.
So that seems like another thing that's made for those solo or low group attempts.
I'm working on over 100 again with my group, so I've got a couple just in case of any screw ups.
Okay.
Yeah, just in case.
And it shares the
Tell
cooldown.
Us the truth. You think they're lame.
It shares the cooldown with the rest of your potions, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, Luna, your thoughts.
Oh, you want me to talk about Scholar right now?
I didn't get to say my thoughts.
Oh, I'm sorry, Chili. I thought you did.
Yeah, but basically, I've leveled up Paladin because Paladin was my main for 2.0. Paladin was my main for 3.0, and so I decided that Paladin would be my main for 4.0. And as a 2.0 player and a 3.0 player, I saw how much hate Paladin got in certain content. And yes, I do feel bad for Warrior in a way that what they had has been taken away and now Paladin is the king again. But at the same time, we kind of got this hate ourselves in Heaven's Ward. I know not everyone did it, but you did see those delete Paladin remarks or Paladin is not worth it, don't, bring Warrior and Dark Knight.
Or rip Paladin, all that stuff.
Yeah. So, to be fair, I like the fact that I've got some... Yeah, the fact that Paladin is now useful again. Yeah, might be overpowered, but...
This seems more like an argument for people should stop being jackasses than anything else. Yeah. Stop being jackasses, people. You're better than this.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Some deep tanks did... some tanks did out DPS bad. DPS. That did happen.
Now, this actually brings up something that I talked about a little bit last night when I was streaming. I was talking with a guy as we were in the waiting for to run a dungeon, and the biggest thing that we need to realize as players is Yoshi and the developers are taking a lot of time to try and make this game balanced, so it's not one of those things where people feel forced down the path of least resistance. They want to make all this content that they're doing relevant. They don't want people to do everything through Palace of the Dead or through Frontlines or through hunts or whatever. They want people to use a little bit of it at a time and do all of it and enjoy the game as an entirety. So they want to make it even. And so...
Yeah. I mean, like what you saw in the patch notes. Yeah, you saw in the patch notes of like when Stormblood came out, they reduced the XP gains for a lot of the traditional things like Palace of the Dead or like a lot of the older leaves to sort of say, don't just keep spamming this thing. That's not going to be the best one. If you do actually want to level, go try some new stuff.
Yeah, and actually I found the best way to level is doing the fucking dungeons.
Yeah. And if you're a tank or a healer, nowadays spam leveling, because anytime anytime there's an adventurer in need, and you're the right job that they need, you will get a free crack cluster at the end every time.
Yeah, they really wanted to encourage people to start taking advantage of those bonuses.
Yeah, because crack clusters turn into a grade 6 materia.
Yeah.
And oh my god, those stats on those grade 6 materias.
So that means every time you do it as an adventurer in need, you'll get a free crack cluster. Every time.
Those adventure and need bonuses are always available. Not just the first time each day.
Yep, it's always.
Huh.
So, I don't know if you guys noticed the stat levels on some of those. I just checked the one for the direct hit. The tier 6 materia is plus 40 direct hit.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
No wonder you're limited on how many you can do.
Yeah.
Actually, by the way, I was wrong about how many you can put on. You can put on 2. At least.
No, actually, if it allows for all, you can put, as long as the circle's green, you can fill it all.
Yeah.
So it's however many guaranteed slots you have, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and then on gear that is overmeldable, you can only put 1 on a forbidden slot.
I thought you can't put any on forbidden.
No, you can put 1.
Oh, okay.
1.
I remember we were a little confused about the phrasing and not sure how it would shake out, so good to know.
Still, it's amazing.
It's still limited by the stat as well. So, I mean, you're not going to... If you put too many of them on, you may end up maxing out a stat. So, you don't want to waste it on that.
Yeah. Or you can completely add a stat if you really want to.
Yep.
Like, if you've got a piece of gear that you want to add crit, you can literally put a full set crit.
Or, 80.
Pretty much.
80, I suppose.
Well, no, remember if you... overmeld with, or if it's an overmeldable piece.
If it's a crafted piece, yes. Like I said, the dungeon stuff or stuff you earn from raids, that is not overmeldable.
Yeah, but if it's the new crafted stuff or whatever, you could overmeld it with tier 5s.
Yeah.
The point is, go forth, bards, and put crit on everything.
And direct hit.
We knew it was what you were going to do.
And direct hit.
What about skill speed now that skill speed affects auto attacks?
Now that you can auto attack again, yeah, like I said, they're all decent.
I'm sure someone will be along with like a best in slot calculator.
We're just waiting for iDerby on that. Luna,
can't put tenacity on.
Now, your rant, please, ma'am. I'm sitting back and getting my popcorn out.
Yep. Hold on to your horses. Let's talk about Scholar. I cannot speak for White Mage and I cannot speak for Astrologian. I'm going to speak specifically for Scholar. Scholar is fucked.
I've heard that.
Tell us more.
Fucked really badly.
Tell me more. Tell me more.
Basically, if we were going to put it nicely, they increased the MP costs for a lot of our big heals, but they're either the same potency or less potent. Like I was looking back in logs. I got a log from before Stormblood pulled up here. Adloquium. Yeah, that. The MP cost before Stormblood was 1,061. After Stormblood, it's 1,800. Going into Succor, which is our big AoE heal. MP cost 1,326. Now it costs 2,280.
Are those at level 70 though?
Yes.
Or is that at like 60/61?
Well, I get Succor at 35.
But
So
the cost increases with every level.
well, still it's this max level versus this max level.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that makes sense, though, in a way, because, like I said, as you level up, every level you get higher, your MP costs go up because your MP pool grows as well.
So,
Okay, but
it's still a huge spike over what it was before.
Yes.
Yeah, I suppose your MP pile hasn't increased by 1.8 times.
Well, see, the big thing is scholars depend heavily on their Aether flow to get that Aether back, the MP back. Before, we got 20% of our Aether flow, or 20% of our MP back. Now, after Stormblood, we only get 10.
Yeah, but don't you have lucid dreaming now?
Hmm?
You have lucid dreaming as well now, don't you?
Well, you had, did you have that before?
No, we didn't. But
that was a white mage only?
That's a roll thing. That's
if you take that, you're shutting out some other roll ability.
Yes. Yeah. Like Asuna is a roll ability. Would you rather me be able to have more MP, or would you rather me be able to take something off of you?
I was
Swiftcast. Yeah.
I was rather amused to see someone actually put up a spreadsheet of, here are all the various trials in the game, or trials, dungeons, whatnot. Here are how much you need Asuna for them. So that people can actually start going through and being like, do I want to set Asuna, or do I have room for another ability? Yep. That's a consideration that people have to make now.
Yeah.
Yep. Another role ability is Protect. Do you want Protect, or do I get more MP? Swiftcast. Do I get instant raises or not?
Surecast.
Surecast. And then there's Break, Cleric Stance, which increases my attack potency, my attack magic potency by 5%.
For 30 seconds? 15 seconds?
For 15 seconds.
Yep. Though you're in general, your magic attacks are a bit stronger now, I think.
Yeah, being it's based off of mind versus int.
Yeah. I did talk with a scholar friend of mine who noted the higher MP cast as well. He's an interesting person and likes a challenge, so he said he kind of likes the fact that it costs more and that he actually has to think a little bit more and manage a bit more, but I could see it being a lot harder, especially if you're going from the regime of, hey, MP management isn't as much of an issue for this class. Yeah. It would be a very jarring change, it feels like.
Now, I will say this. This is my experience at running the dungeons. I have seen a lot more dungeon runs that have had problems with scholars as the healer versus white mages and astros.
I can tell you every time I'm farming Lakshmi X, after either right before the ad phase or somewhere in there, I'll either need a red mage to refresh me, or I'll need some kind of MP boost.
You mean a bard refresh or an MP?
Yeah, whatever.
Anyway.
Refresh me.
Yeah, I don't remember what that skill is called because I don't use it on my red mage.
Well, you're bad.
I probably should in some.
Spell?
So
Lucid Dream, isn't it?
No, there's one where the casters get it where they can basically shovel 20% of their MP over to somebody else.
Oh, Mana Shift.
Oh, right.
Mana Shift, yeah, that's the one.
Someone is bringing up the fairies. The fairies, oh god, the fairies have their own problems.
Were they lobotomized like they're saying in chat?
Yeah, they're pretty much lobotomized. They're talking about fake harass, which is the Asuna for the fairies. Mm-hmm. You only get that one time per minute. That's it.
Really?
Yep. One time per minute. It has a recast of 60 seconds.
Yep.
So it is AoE.
The spreadsheet that I was talking about actually did have a separate column for, is it infrequent enough that fake harass may be a way to manage it?
Yeah.
See,
it was kind of funny.
On my skull, I didn't bother with Cleric Stance. I've gone with Lucid Dreaming instead.
Yeah, that's a good one to have.
The other thing that comes to mind is, since they mentioned Tenacity earlier, the fact that Piety hasn't changed to be a healer-only stat now, and one with its own materia. I'm wondering if at least part of the intention is, hey, healers, you may want to start slotting Piety in your gear, if that's what they're trying to push towards.
Well, I think all the yellow materia is pointless materia, though.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I want to. I have to show. I'm not going to names, but I'm going to have to shame a healer that I had in a run recently. Not going to name his name because I don't remember them. But I was checking their equipment because they would run out of mana all the time, and I noticed for some reason they had melded tenacity.
They don't use tenacity.
No.
I know it doesn't even work for them, but yep, they've melded full tenacity and direct hit.
Really.
This is nowhere near the first time that people have done very poor melds.
Can I have Perry, please?
But yeah, kind of getting back on point.
Yes.
Scholar is fucked. There's someone on Reddit that made a huge long post. I'll link to it. I'm sure we can put it in the notes afterwards. But basically, they're saying pretty much everything I am, that a lot of things are fucked for Scholar. And we're trying, guys. We're trying to heal you as best as we can. Like, I've decided to put I'm going to butcher the name of this, but Largesse.
Largesse?
Yeah, Largesse.
Large ass.
Large ass. Okay.
Well, you got ass size,
decided...
so now you need large ass.
Oh my god, I didn't think of that. But now I'm gonna forever call it large ass. Thanks, Klaus.
Large ass and ass size.
Oh my god. But yeah, I put large ass.
Anyway.
But yeah, as a scholar, I put large ass just so I can have more, just so I can heal you better, and not feel like I'm gonna oh my god, they're gonna die, and like I think the big thing that would help it is if they increase that aether flow back to a substantial amount, back up to 20%, and just change stratagem, whatever. That is just a poor man's balance. Let's face it.
As a monk, it makes me happier than balance, though.
How so?
Because my critical hit is how it gives me a 50% chance to give me a chakra back.
Yeah, and for Bard, if our DOTs crit, we are very, very happy.
Oh yeah, especially if we're running Wanderers.
Pitch perfect, bitches!
So
satisfying.
15% crit means I've got more chance to do a burst.
So satisfying.
Yeah, especially when you do it with 3 stacks. Oh. Yeah, that makes your pants kind of dirty.
Whoa!
Hey, it feels good. Not as good though. Not as good as a red mage critting Verflare. I've hit Verflare for 18k. That was amazing.
By the way, Luna, if you can't heal, my paladin did a crit of 24k Clemente.
Yeah, I know. I saw that the other day.
Paladins, the new healers, guys.
New healer. Remember, because if I hit them on someone else, that means I got 12k as well anyway.
All right.
Because it's got built-in.
Let's go ahead. Let's continue to move on here. Let's read these next two kind of together. Sarah, you want to read the first one?
Sure. All right. So from Ian Jefferson, warriors are a mess. Many abilities that would generate stacks previously no longer do. As a result, hotbars have had to be adjusted very heavily to fit the new rotation. The missing skills are not a loss at high levels, but Duty Roulette occasionally puts us in low-level dungeons without skills that the content assumes we would have. 14 has had its issues balancing new and old player experiences. This is simply part of that process. 4.1 will probably adjust the system a bit to alleviate issues we are currently having. Dark Knight has become much easier to play, and the rotation is now very straightforward. While Dark skills still sound like they were named by a 13-year-old that thinks DeviantArt is a place for their poems, the gameplay is actually interesting.
They're not wrong on that assessment, but...
Yeah, I mean, that's been a thing since forever. I still remember a friend of mine who had, in 11, had all of his Dark Knight macros talk about picking flowers or baking cookies.
Oh my god.
It was great.
Luna, you want to read this next one?
Sure. Let's see.
From
I'm
Shamir.
sorry if I butcher your name.
I want to say it's Shamir. It's a guess.
Okay.
Sorry for butchering it.
Let's summer.
Sorry. From Shamir Ledesma. Yo, yo, yo. Warrior is terribly unbalanced. Nothing new here. I'm not asking for something to put Warrior back on the top. Paladins and Dark Knights are in a good place currently. However, why take away our bloodbath? I'm sorry, that just made me giggle. This single ability made warriors feel like warriors. Now, we're just Dark Knights without MP or damage. Also, Onslaught shouldn't cost us anything. Just let us charge in peace. Machinist. Just delete Machinist. Oh my god. I mean, what the fuck? Not only is it weak, it requires a lot more effort to play this job than it does to play Samurai, yet its damage output, even after you've mastered it, is absolute garbage. Bards should benefit from Battle Voice and our crit boost. We are not a support class. Bard is pure DPS. This whole notion of Bard is support needs to be completely eradicated from our set. Summoner's Bahamut is too fucking big. I can't see shit. Leave Bards exactly how they currently are in PvP. Oh my god, so broken. It's fun. Okay, Eorzea great again.
Make Eorzea great again.
Oh my god.
See,
Yes.
I am more okay with make Eorzea great again because that acronym's to Mega, which is just cooler.
Yeah.
Mega.
I think they made a change in 401s to give Bard the benefit of Battle Voice now. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with regards to the other stuff that was discussed, I keep flipping back and forth between whether Bard or Warrior is my main. I will say both for myself and for other Bards I've seen, or other Warriors I've seen, the low-level roulettes, especially when there's red mages in there, the poor little guys are just struggling to hold Hate, and it's gone. It's just gone. It's not coming back, guys.
Aww.
But no,
Is that since the change though? Because remember they changed all the enmity recently.
So this isn't with the new enmity changes, and I'm guessing the enmity changes were specifically because of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Even in game, all the tanks I met in game nearly always complained about Hate, and it made me sad. Even the paladins complained a lot, and it made me cry inside.
Oh,
I was like,
poor Chili.
Don't make Chili cry.
use your Hate combos. That's what.
But even with that, like, I had one of the red mages I party with, like, he had been doing it's like, I'm starting to build up lots of hate on this enemy, I'll just switch to another one and fight on that and give them a chance to do it. I've built up hate on this one. I've built up hate on all of them. So now he just focuses on one so the tank can at least hold the rest of them.
Plus, that's why nearly all the DPS except for Bard, even though Bard used to be the only DPS with it really, originally has diversion,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to get rid of you in me.
But yeah, like, I was definitely doing time to hit all of these various cooldowns in order to get the Wrath boost from it, and that's not a thing anymore, but I was doing the muscle memory about it for the longest time. And Warrior feels a lot simpler in a lot of ways, but also maybe a little bit duller as a result.
Yeah, I haven't I haven't jumped on my Warrior yet, but like I said, I did jump through Bard. I brought that to the main storyline, and like I said, I like it. I enjoy how it plays now, being able to move around. Like I said, losing some of the AoE potency was a little bit of a loss, but you get to make up for it with things like Pitch Perfect and some of the other skills that we gain as we level up through to 70, and it's fun. I haven't done that in PvP yet because I was using that to level up my Red Mage. Red Mage sucks in PvP, by the way. At least I think so.
No, it doesn't.
I think it's terrible. I don't like it. It's slow to build.
Were you doing Feast or Shatter?
I was doing Shatter.
See, in Feast I love it because I don't know. Feast I love Red Mage and Summoner.
See, I like how Bard would work in. I like how Bard would work in Shatter because it's quick hit and move around and get out of the way. You're really fast to hit things, then you can run away. And you go in, you harass, you jump back out. That's what he's saying. They're broken. They are. They're really fucking broken.
I just imagine
Beast.
Klaus going in going,
I'm going to make macros to do that.
Boop.
Boop. Hee. Boop.
God damn it. What have I started?
I haven't gotten. I'd like to try out Machinist at some point, but I haven't gotten around to it. It's a little disappointing to hear that it's not holding up as well.
But hey, they get
I'm not
flamethrowers.
quite sure why the difference. Yeah, but style. Oh, I know it's me saying this, but style only does take you so far if it turns out that you're super weak and not able to do damage.
Yeah, I guess I understand that. I never played Machinist. It just wasn't my style of job. But I know it was actually superior to Bard in Heavensward. It was the quote-unquote support class to take in most of Raid. They had a little bit better damage output and had a little bit more utility in certain situations in Alexander. But right now I think Bard is winning the battle on that side.
Yeah, I mean it's just the first round of the patch, so we'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah, we'll get some more changes soon.
Remember, everybody, these jobs are not in stone. These things will change.
Except for White Mage, they do stone a lot. I'm helping.
And actually, Red Mage does a Verstone.
Yeah.
A furry stone?
Verstone.
Fairy stones.
Furry.
Fairy stones.
Furry stone.
You're a furry?
What? Fur stone.
Is that like
Fur
when
stone.
Alice had the stones?
Oh.
She's definitely got the stones.
Anyway, as I was going to say earlier, with PvP with Feast, I like to do my one of my spells on the DPS and then do my dual cast on the healer.
But no, it's like I said, these are good things to talk about, the things that we have experienced within the game so far, and like I said, if you really do have an issue, we have a little bit more to discuss yet, but if you do have an issue on something that you want Square Enix to know about, the best place to put all of this is on the official forums, if you haven't been banned, that is.
Dun,
Yeah,
dun.
try to be a little more pleasant and a little less foaming at the mouth about it. That tends to help.
This advice comes directly from the community reps. If you are, polite and, succinct, and you get to the point on your issue and, aren't like, oh my God, this sucks, you guys are bad, I hate you, unsub, type of stuff, they will actually listen to you. They'll take that information to the dev team, if it gets enough interest on it, and they will look at it. So seriously, just be polite, be a good person on there, be respectful, and state your case in a calm and rational manner, and they will listen to it.
They're not necessarily going to do exactly what you want, but they do want the game to be fun to play.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Like I said earlier, they're trying to balance this entire game to make it so that all different types of people have something that they enjoy to do, and that people aren't doing only the certain things that are the easiest to advance.
I have seen a lot of newbies around lately. They're kind of adorable.
I love it. I mean, we're getting some really... I've seen a lot of new players when I do a leveling roulette. We did Hawk Manor the other day, and it was actually pretty cool.
Oh my God, I got to actually use my cards. I've been working on Astrologian. I got to actually use my cards!
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
All right, so we have one more email, and I'll read this one. This one is from Alistair. I think on job design alone, I'd place Stormblood lower than Heavensward. If I had to sum up the changes from Heavensward to Stormblood, I'd say the phrase "no fun allowed" sums it up. I feel most jobs have gotten worse, or maybe just worse to play. With changes to tank damage scaling, they have shown that they don't give a single solitary fuck about tank damage in this game beyond aggro control. And I'm yet to see a warrior or dark player who feels their class is more fun to play in Stormblood than it was in Heavensward, with warriors' punishment for stance dancing and dark's loss for almost all off-global cooldowns. It's not just the tanks. The other classes besides maybe Bard and Machinist suffered a loss in some way, it seems. Or again, just became less fun to play. Summoner and Scholar lost a lot of their AoE power with a ridiculous nerf to Bane, or nearly every AoE skill Summoner has. So while at a best in slot level they might have had a lot of power still, Death Flare just lacks the punch it once did. Monk, far from being the new Dragoon of this expansion, got some really lackluster skills and barely any raid utility, so while they didn't get ruined, it feels like they also, with Dragoon, got really uninspired or ill-thought-out additions in this expansion. I know this is purely anecdotal, but I've been told by Dragoons that if they die or get interrupted, it fucks their main gauge mechanic and takes ages for them to ramp it up again. But I do think the fact that ranged physical got their mobility back is and feels amazing. I've actually switched from tank to bard because tanking feels so unfun now, and none of the other jobs' new gutted or dumbed down rotations really appeals to me. This is good news for bards and machinists. I don't know. But it's just bad when I almost leveled every class to cap in Heaven's Word, yet I can't even bring myself to level warrior, dark, dragoon, monk, summoner, or black mage this time. Well, that's definitely a
strong opinions there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if it made it that unfun for you, I noticed you didn't mention paladin in there. So we have heard from a lot. I've heard some darks saying that they're doing all right, but warriors mainly are the tank class that I've heard got shit on the most.
Yeah. I definitely felt like I was taking a lot more damage and struggling to keep hate on. Well, not struggling to keep hate, but definitely taking a lot more damage on things.
See, I figured that would be they would have been all right, with that big boost of damage that they got with the sextuple fell cleave. But I suppose they got that and everything else taken away.
Yeah.
Plus, if you switch over, you'll lose your stacks anyway. So
yeah.
So I will sometimes do a strategic switch over because it's like, hey, I have an opportunity to build up a lot really fast and do it. But it's definitely not, like, stance dancing is definitely not something you want to be doing on this.
Is it better if you were to spend your points before switching?
I mean, when I've done that, I've built up to 100 and switched because then I'm at least starting from 50.
Okay.
I want to say
I'm
that
sure
that's
someone
one
has
thing.
actually... Oh.
Okay.
I'm sure someone has actually done the math crafting on it, but I've been going ahead and going for the build up and accepting, hey, I'm going to lose some of this, but it lets me launch into this a little bit faster. Thinking about it, that's maybe not actually valid reasoning.
So I
whatever.
I want to ask you this, Sarah. Being you have a job that grows a gauge as you level up or damage stuff. When you zone, do you lose all of that as well?
I haven't.
I keep not paying that much attention to it. I think you do lose it when you go to a new area.
I know as red mage, I lose my stacks totally. If I will leave with full gauge, I go back to 0 when I zone. So
yeah, I think it's the same for warrior.
All right, so I mean that makes sense. I just wasn't 100% sure. I assumed that was just a thing that they had.
Yeah, that seems like the only reasonable way to implement it. Otherwise, that feels way too abusable.
It makes hunting as a red mage suck, though, because it's really slow to build up, and especially when they burn down so fast because of the amount of people out there hunting right now. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Those types of jobs, it's better to have the quick stinging damage, like Bard. Pew pew. Hee hee. But
run and gun.
Yeah.
Now that you can do it again.
Exactly. I mean, you don't have to pre-cast. You just hit the button and you damage. It's lovely.
I was saying, as a paladin, there's only 2 moves that use my actual gauge, which is nice. Sheltron and intervention, and our new DPS move, which is like our magic fell cleave, which is Holy Spirit. If you're at shield off, actually builds your gauge for you. Every time you cast it, you get 20 gauge.
Interesting. So it's a self-building one. But
but if you
costs 50 to use, or
no, it gives you 20.
Really? So you can just Holy Spirit infinitely, huh?
Yeah, it costs you mana, about 1,000 mana, but you get points, and then you can use the points for Celtron, and when you get hit, you get mana back.
Yeah, you do have another powerful move that I remember drops in effectiveness as you use up MP. So
Request a cat.
Request a cat.
But that's every minute. So that's every minute. But that boosts your Holy Spirit damage anyway. So
yeah,
if you're over 80% mana, it gives you a 20% healing boost and 20% damage boost.
So yeah, sounds like something where you're kind of being a magic damaging tank then.
Yeah. And if you sword dive, you gain gauge every auto attack, and as you auto attack twice in sword dive, it's quite nice.
Nice.
But you don't get the Holy Spirit buff in sword dive. That only works in shield dive. But you can still use it in sword dive. You just won't get the gauge every cast.
Okay.
Something to check into later.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we hope that this has been an interesting discussion.
We actually did have, Yeah,
I'm going to say we also have a couple of posts that we got in Facebook as well. We'll just go over those really quickly. These first two come from my old free company, Sarah's current free company, Phoenix Down. I kept the user's name out because Facebook has real names.
Names withheld on this one for privacy's sake.
Yep. Since I first started playing 14, which is around the time Heavensward came out, I mained Dragoon, and after Stormbrother came out, I think they got simplified, but in a good way, if that makes sense. As well as some slight damage buffs and all-around utility, but I kind of dropped Dragoon in favor of Samurai because boy, do I love lots of damage with little effort.
I'm with them on that.
I do feel Samurai is going to get nerfed because they're so strong. I was hoping I'd like Red Mage more than I do, but I have a problem of tunnel visioning when I need to juggle a job's mechanics, and I end up dying in an AoE. So according to him, Red Mage is the new Dragoon, which
Oh boy.
It is.
in certain ways
Awkward.
I see that happening because I have jumped head first into a boss's AoE.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny. I was the Shri of the Tides. You know, one of the first dungeons.
Yep, the giant tier 6 materia underwater.
Yeah, one of the. I noticed that the Red Mage wasn't doing melee attacks, and I was in a party chat with friends. I said, and they were there with me. I said, "Oh, that Red Mage doesn't seem to be melee much for some reason." And then we all said that, and I said that he jumped in with what's that move you got?
Yeah, I can't.
Core.
Yep.
He jumped in with that, and as he jumped in, the enemy AoE'd and killed him instantly.
Yep.
Awkward.
Okay. Well, maybe that's why he wasn't doing it.
You need to time it. It's definitely all about raid awareness for something like that. Next one, I've been a summoner main since 2.0. It's in a good direction. Really need its pet heal back, or letting Physic heal the pet more kind of sucks. Have no defensive ability. Ruin 3 would be way better, just replacing Ruin 1 during Dreadworm. Ruin 2 is way better to cast outside just due to the instacast. I really like Ruin 4 procs. Feels good. Burst. This one's written kind of oddly, so I apologize. And it's kick-ass for Ifrit. Glad Contagion has been reworked. That limited pet options. So they like the simplicity of Summoner, I guess, is what they're trying to say.
Do try to use punctuation when you're sending us comments, just to make it a little easier to read.
Yes. I tried to put things in there that I thought were there, but yeah, sorry. If the gist of it I'm seeing is they like the simplified version of Summoner. Like Chili, you kind of said the same thing.
Yeah, I enjoy the simple. Now that I don't have a bajillion dots to watch.
It seems like in general people agree that it's simplified, it's a lot easier to handle stuff. They're just divided about whether this is nice and makes stuff accessible or whether it makes things boring.
Yeah, I know I've heard that the pet classes lost the ability to heal their pets. That used to be a something called sustain there, which is now the 2000 HP per tick thing in Palace of the Dead.
Palace of the Dead.
But so that's a thing. Guy just commented on another post, says, "Oh hell, they're not balanced. My poor warrior fell behind all the other tanks in DPS and defense," which we're hearing that a lot.
Yep.
And now this one was put in there just because it had to be. I want to discuss the lack of hookers, cocaine, and Doma. Yes, obvious troll post is obvious, but it's still funny.
I mean, no, it really shouldn't be. The hookers, sure, I mean, you've got courtesans, but if we're taking Doma as an analog of ancient China, which given that it's got the one river, which is an obvious parallel for the Yangtze, we should be having opium dens.
That's true also.
Where's all the opium?
What's in that pipe Yotsuyu's smoking?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Naruto has stolen it all to trade it. Look for some Lalafels, they probably have it.
I mean, if we're going to do that, then we should have some type of really terrible thing going. Like, There are all sorts of nasty historical parallels we could go for here.
But we're not going to, because right now it's time to do some other historical comparisons.
Woo! Oh, before we do that, I do want to note, I was just paying attention for all the comments we got. We heard almost nothing about, we heard plenty about Scholar, but not as much about how people felt about White Mage or Astrologian. And we didn't really hear much about how ninjas and black mages are feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It's because all the white mages are busy healing.
Yep. So I mean,
Yeah, right.
you're only going to really hear about the ones that are having issues, and we heard quite a bit about the ones that are having problems, or the ones that got major ups. You know, like Bard got some love, and Red Mage and Samurai are really playing well as well in this part. So
It is interesting to hear that, because I remember one of the predictions when people were first seeing how the jobs looked, first hearing about the new actions, one of the predictions was that White Mage was going to be the one that fell behind.
now in raw healing, they're still number one.
Yeah.
They do not have as much damage output though, and that was where I think a lot of that hate came from.
Yeah, I mean, that was another thing we saw in one of the comments complaining about that the Warriors, they don't seem to care as much about their DPS. And to a certain extent, I feel like they might say, yeah, guilty as charged. Their main role is tank. We want to have them focus on being an effective tank. They've said that, like, incidental DPS is a bonus rather than something where it's, like, to be expected. And it seems like they may be trying to enforce that mindset a little more. No, like, if you want to do that, you can, but we're really not going to build the game around it.
Okay. Seeing a couple of people talking about Ninja now in the chat. Kylan Dare is saying, I love my fire-breathing Kermit. You know, they love being Naruto, summoning their toads. Scarlet.
Diabell.
Like, you know, that thing that existed before Naruto, right?
Scarlet
Right?
and Kylan Dare are both saying that Tenchi Jin kind of sucks. Everything
That's
else
a
is
pity.
great.
Stylistically, it looked fun, so it's a pity to hear that it's not actually that good.
They're just mad because
Diabell.
it's not casting a Kagebunshin no Jutsu.
Oh my god.
That's the next
Okay,
expansion.
Moving on.
Klaus is forbidden from referencing things.
And then you get a Kubi mode.
Believe it. Hey, we already have a QB. It's Foxy Lady.
Yeah, but eventually you'll be able to summon it. as
Well,
a
we already
ninja.
can. I already have the mini one running around the studio.
The Yokai Watch, totally a thing.
Yeah, we do have the QB and
Put on
Yokai
my
Watch.
ears.
True.
There.
Yeah. Date pa yo.
Oh my god, let's just go on to lore.
I'll be so
Please.
time to believe it.
Hey, you're the ones who brought this up. So
I did nothing.
Sarah did.
I have regret.
I'm an
So
innocent-
much regret.
All right. So going from talking about amazing ninjas on anime to talking about the history within the game, Sarah is going to take us down a trip with lore. Take it away.
Goddamn Eorzean savages. Hey, I'm wearing the outfit. I get to talk the part. All right. So this time around, we actually did receive an email from Killendare. That email was Klaus was kind enough to separate it into two parts because one of the parts of it involves stuff that would have been spoiler stuff for not having completed the MSQ. So I'll be revisiting that next week. But for this one, I'll go ahead and read from that. So he asks, what are the odds that the 12 are actually primals, or primal-like in nature, that have been bound somehow versus actual deities? Could that explain why, even though, for example, King Mogulmog or Lakshmi can pop up into existence with what seems to be a relatively small amount of emotional strife, small as in comparison to, say, the Battle of Cartano, which took what seemed like all of Eorzea to summon Phoenix, whereas Halone or Ralger manifestations are nowhere to be seen? The game lore has established through certain storylines, for example Bahamut, that once summoned, a primal held in some sort of stasis cannot be resummoned. Given the Final Fantasy franchise's tendencies to have its heroes at some point go up against the gods themselves, is this remotely plausible? A couple comments noting that this was a bit of a brain dump, which has stolen his ability to string together a properly written sentence. couple other things like that. But hey, good question. There's a lot to consider and unpack. This is something that we have explored a little bit before, but as we learn more about primals, about the nature of the various beings throughout Eorzea, it's nice to revisit every so often and put together a little of what we already know, what we've learned, and how our understanding has changed. So, couple of important points to remember. So primal summoning, it usually needs two things. You need power and you need desire. That power usually comes in the form of crystals, those nice little condensed collections of ether. There are other instances of primal summoning using artifacts that are charged with large amounts of ether. You have like the Eyes of Nidhogg. You have, in the main scenario, I'll note that there are some artifacts obtained by a beastman race that harbor sort of strong spirits in them, essentially powerful sources of life energy or ether. In general, ether is what makes up the life stream, and so it's the same, you need a whole bunch of these building blocks of life, and those are going to be shaped into the powerful being that you call. So first thing you need that power, you need that life energy. Second thing you need is desire, and this is the wishes, hopes, and dreams of the summoner. Now, those are going to infuse and shape the ether, and they imprint it with the will of the one who called it. This can lead to a little bit of a chicken and egg situation because the summoner's beliefs, dreams, all of that about the primal they're summoning may be colored by the perception that they have of what it should be like from their own mythology. Some interesting examples to consider here. Gabu's calling of Titan in the main scenario, where that incarnation of Titan had a very different mindset, something that was very reflective of Gabu's emotional turmoil, his concern for his parents. Or Shinryu summoning at Belsar's Wall, where Ilberd was taking advantage of this seething desire for vengeance, shaping that desire into a primal that would be the instrument of revenge and destruction. Now, there's a question about, does this require special technique or knowledge to perform a summoning? That's one of the things that Killendare actually kind of touched at in the question, and at this point it's a little hard to say. There's conflicting evidence. Now, we do have things like the Ascians teaching summoning techniques to the beast tribes, or to the use of Little Alamigo in the early parts of the main scenario. But then you have Susano's kind of spontaneous summoning when a batch of artifacts are brought together. Though the Kojin believe that those artifacts contained living, thinking spirits, and that belief might have changed the nature of the ether in there, at this point, it's kind of hard to say. We don't have a clear answer. I know that's not super satisfying, but we've got a lot of conflicting evidence, and there's not a single unifying theory at this point that explains it all. Now, there are other things that we know about primal summoning as well. There is, of course, the uniqueness requirement. The same primal can't be summoned to multiple places at once. There does seem to be some kind of core existence that's unique to it. We think. It's not like we can really conduct experiments on this.
And that's kind of why, sorry, Sarah, to interrupt, but that's kind of like why the Eggies are kind of, they just tear a little piece away of that essence, but they're their own little units.
Right. The Eggies are not the avatars. They are their own little shaped kind of reflection of it, but they are a separate entity. They're an entity that you form out of yourself after having been affected by that primal. Now, this uniqueness principle is why the Ultima weapon was actually something that was effective for the ancient Allegan Empire, because it could capture and seal away those primals within it, while still they continued to exist, but were sealed away within the weapon. Similarly, you have Dalamud, or the centrifugal crystal engine that powered Azaslaw. All of those had the Allegan principle of not destroying the primal, but putting it into some kind of stasis and sealing it away. The lore team has made remarks that suggested that if mythologies were to diverge, if you had, like, say, an offshoot tribe of Amalja that had a much, like, warmer, fuzzier, like, they use the example of, like, roasting marshmallows over the campfire Ifrit type.
Oh my god, that was so hilarious, that entire thing that they did with that.
Yeah, I would have gone with kind of like a hearth god myself, just because they're always hearth goddesses, and I think it would be an interesting swap to have a hearth god. That's another matter.
Okay.
But you could have two versions of the same primal summon at once. But they would have to be incredibly different from each other, possibly to the point where we would no longer consider it two separate versions of the same primal, but two separate primals. Now, there's also some discussion of the whole idea of levels of divinity. So the question that was asked was whether the 12 are actual deities or whether they were just primals. To an ant, there is no difference between a human and between God. Both existences are so far above, so far removed, that trying to comprehend the distinction is kind of meaningless, especially when you talk about the power that they have over the ant. Primals seem to be kind of like this. They're not a god in the same way that Hydaelyn is, but their power is so great that the beast tribes call them that and regard them as that anyways. My feeling is that the 12 are similar, but we don't have a lot of conclusive info on this either. Bringing up the Battle of Carteneau, that is an interesting case. The original plan for Carteneau Flats was to summon the 12, even knowing that this might do as much or more damage to Eorzea than Bahamut did. You have, on the one hand, you have the havoc that at that time we didn't even know Bahamut was in there, the havoc that Dalamud would wreak by crashing into Eorzea, versus the damage done to the land by pulling out enough ether to summon 12 beings at once. Louisoix changed that plan up at the last minute. Instead of summoning the 12, he used the gathered power to channel the power of the 12 in an attempt to seal away Bahamut. So he was using that power, but he wasn't actually creating primals that would continue to drain the land.
He wanted all the power for himself.
Yeah. So
All your power spit into us.
His plan did fail, but we had accumulated ether, we had that power, and we had this strong desire of the people, and those strong desire of the people, the strong desire of Louisoix, those combined to cause him to become a primal, embodying that desire. We can compare again to Shinryu, where we have a single person with a very powerful desire, a desire shared by a lot of the people who are participating in this ritual, and that power and that desire come together to create a new primal.
Spoilers!
Now,
if you want real spoilers, go watch Moogle Around. I spoil everything. Literally everything.
Shameless plug.
One point that I noticed while writing that up and thinking about that is that we have had a few sort of new primals arise, new in the sense of Eorzea's lore, even if we as players recognize them. In each case, it was something that was formed out of a single powerful desire. You had Phoenix from this desire for the realm to be saved and reborn. You had Shinryu from this desire for vengeance against Garlemald. You had Shiva from this desire of Ysael to extinguish the fires of war, to rebuild this bridge between mankind and dragon. Now, I feel like that might go to explain part of why the 12 haven't been spontaneously popping into existence. Partly the, hey, actually having the accumulated power in one place, and also the lack of a singular focused desire. I mean, Eorzea is vast. Its peoples are varied. How often do you have a multitude of them all with the same desire, all calling out to have that desire granted to them? Something like the Calamity, where we did have the moon literally coming down on the continent, that was enough to have the people unified in their desire. Now, I've been kind of going up and down the garden path here and hadn't actually answered the question. It's possible that some or all of the 12 have been summoned at some point and that they're sealed away somewhere. We don't actually have a way to know, because in our recorded history, no one has actually tried to summon any of the 12. We came close a few times, but every time they did turn away from that plan at the last minute. There's only one way that we could be sure, and I'm pretty sure that doing it would get us instantly booted out of the Scions.
Or
now,
the game.
Now, even if the 12 have not actually been summoned and sealed, it does seem reasonable to think that they're going to be deities that are on the level of other primals, rather than deities on the level of Hydaelyn. It's possible that there is some existence of the 12 that is on that level, though we haven't really seen any sign of that. And Heidelin, note that Heidelin doesn't need anyone to summon her or go around believing in her. She just exists. She does her own thing. Her existence doesn't drain the life stream because her existence is the life stream, which kind of turns a primal to like a little sort of a parasitic growth on Heidelin that's kind of draining away, sucking out its energy like a tick.
Kind of like what the story with Alexander.
Exactly. Now, the 12 are important deities in Eorzea. They are beings that are so high above us that we might as well think of them as gods, but they just don't seem to be at that level that Heidelin is at.
Okay, I want to stop you here for a second, because in chat, Kylander just mentioned it's always bothered them that Crystal Mom has never mentioned the 12.
Yeah. I mean, that is actually a really interesting point. If they were going around, if they were deities on this level doing that type of thing, we would have expected that it would be reasonable to think that it might have come up at some point. And so while that's not necessarily strong evidence, it is at least somewhat suggestive evidence against.
And then I also want to mention Rory's comment in the chat, could Heidelin's crystal be like a prison?
Huh. I'm not sure. I mean, like, if Heidelin is the live stream, is this, like, the crystal is just like a collection of solidified ether. It feels a little more like if something were to happen to that crystal, it would disperse Heidelin.
But what if something's inside Heidelin? What if the 12 are inside her?
What if she's running off of the power of the 12? Like a whole bunch of AA batteries. Okay, they'd be at least D batteries.
I suppose it's possible. At this point, we're kind of just getting into massive hand-waving speculation.
Well, of course.
And, well, yeah. But I mean, mostly at this point, we don't really have a strong reason to believe that.
Plot twist, we are the 12.
I still believe that we are primals.
Well, I mean, that's something Moogle Quest mentioned that as a, the possibility, and we've talked about that in a previous episode. We brought that up as, what if we are a primal?
Or we don't even necessarily have to be one, but like we're acquiring a lot of the properties that could over time cause a primal to exist in our image. Like a lot of those 12, they may have just been folk heroes that over time accumulated this status, accumulated this fame, this vision in the hearts of the people. Like,
God, I've just
I have trouble believing that we are actually a primal, just because at some point Y'shtola would have been like, hey, why does all the ether keep getting drained out of the area whenever you're around? I feel like someone would have noticed that.
So we're going to become the 13th.
I just thought of an amazing idea of what they should have done.
Oh dear.
What if instead of the Warriors Darkness being from a random world, like they are, in this storyline where they're from a different dimension, what if they were a different continent that heard of the stories of the Warriors of Light and made a primal version of us by accident?
I mean, that could still be something that could happen. Like, I do wonder if that's something that could happen down the road. It's something that's bounced around my mind, I'll admit it.
I mean, some of the primals have gotten more human-like in their look. I mean, look at Lakshmi. She's big, but she's very, human, looking.
She's all about the arse size.
Her butt is a snake.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Oh, I guess I missed that. It just the skin color looked normal for once. So I guess
butt's a snake.
She's got a snake butt.
She has a snake butt.
She got a snake booty. Sorry, never mind.
Is this like Queen Slug for a butt from Earthworm Jim?
No.
Jim, that was an amazing show.
No.
Indeed. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of interesting speculation we could do, but at this point, I don't think we have any evidence to support it.
Now, I'm going to talk about this. Using real life analogy, in real life, religion is based off of historical figures or beliefs at that time. So your thought that it's possible that the 12 could be ancient people who did really cool things for other people, that the stories just built up and became just beyond themselves.
I mean, Koji's made remarks about that sort of thing as well, so
that's why I'm saying
seems reasonably likely.
In like the 9th or 10th astral era, we are going to be the 13th.
Oh man, you think the realm's gonna live to like the 9th or 10th astral era? That is so adorable.
You know what I'm saying.
I'm saying you're an adorable optimist.
Okay, yeah, whatever.
Now, one other thing I wanted to mention is I'll avoid talking too much about the specifics. I'll save that for next show. But the beliefs about the 12 are also vast and varied. There are a few quests, for instance, out in the Azim Steppe that discuss the deities that they believe in. And those descriptions, they track very closely with some of the members of the 12, but they are different in some incredibly key points. And the thing that to take away from that is that you want to be careful about assuming that we have the true version and all of the other variations that we see, that those are distorted echoes. Generally, what's more likely is that everyone's got some kind of distorted echo, just in terms of what the 12 would be like, what to expect from them. It may be that, again, the echoes have diverged enough that you do have. It's kind of like the equivalent of speciation, except for deities. Oh man, I want to do like a deity biology guide type thing, except I'm pretty sure that gets us in a lot of trouble from all fronts. But you do want to be careful about assuming that what you have is the true version. We've already seen, like again, there was the whole thing of Azema symbol showing up on that Sephirotic temple. Like, again, like the more I see, the more I was like, the version we have is almost certainly not the whole story here. That said, for reasons we discussed, I do see it as more likely that they're kind of on the level of primals rather than deities like Hydaelyn, but we just don't have the evidence to tell one way or the other yet. And I'm sure they're going to drag that out bit by bit, because that's one of the mysteries behind this world.
All right. Well,
Primal Lava Scorpion.
Kylander, I hope that was a good explanation and answer to your wonderful question that you sent us through the Patreon page. Again, thank you so much for being a patron.
And I'm told that there was a second part to your question or other stuff you're asking about. Again, we'll be discussing that next week or next show,
episode.
Which is 2 weeks. Next episode, which is around 2 weeks from now, which is when we'd be lifting the spoiler moratorium, and when I should hopefully by then be at the end of the MSQ.
Yeah, so I will send that off as soon as Sarah gives me the go-ahead that he has completed the final dungeon and gone through the credits. So then I will send that off, and he will not be spoiled by your question, which I liked the question, and I thought the exact same thing, just to tell you that right now. I'm interested to see what Sarah thinks.
Just for those who care, I am going to be heading it seems like I'm heading towards the level 67 dungeon imminently.
Woo! It's a fun dungeon. I actually really like that one. You'll enjoy it.
Awesome. I have generally been enjoying the dungeon design of this.
Yep, so
All the new dungeons are good in my opinion.
like Sarah said, next episode will be the lifting of the spoiler moratorium. We will go in depth, talk about the story, the dungeons, the things we liked, things we didn't like, and we'll talk about all that. So be warned, spoilers will be prevalent next episode.
And I might be in Kagane, hopefully.
Hopefully. You got to push your character through some stuff to get there, but which means you got to level them up, which means you got to buy a leveling potion and a story skip potion.
Yep. All of the monies.
Might help you out though. Give me a bit though. So because we had so many awesome emails for our discussion topic, we're going to go ahead and skip the email and comment section. But don't let that discourage you from sending us more messages like Cookie Nurse did 2 weeks ago, or on last week's episode. Let us know what you think. If you have any questions, they can turn into things like the lore segment, or we can use them to expound upon our discussion. So email us, podcast@phoenixstarradio.com. You can tweet us at PHXDNradio on Twitter. All those different places. There's a message system on patreon.com/PhoenixStarRadio. You can message us through that as well. Let us know things that you like, things you want to know more about, comments, concerns that you think that Klaus talks too much, or that you want more.
I think we should
more chilly.
I think we should say that Carl is great. Thanks for subscribing, Carl.
Yeah, Kylandar, thank you so much. We said all of our new
you.
patrons, all of our new subscribers, thank you so much for all of your support.
Say the word and I'll blast these Eorzean savages out of existence.
And if you're listening to us on the podcast, make sure to like, subscribe, or follow us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, or YouTube, because this will be going up tomorrow night on YouTube as well. And like I said, leave us a rating or review there, because it helps others to find our podcast and lets them know that you like it and that you enjoy what we're doing. And it lets us know what we're doing right and the things that we can do to improve or keep doing what we're doing. So we really appreciate that.
Get rid of that chili bloke.
No, we won't get rid of that chili bloke. Chili's awesome. And like Kylandar, if you are really digging the show, please consider becoming a patron out on patreon.com/PhoenixDownRadio. All proceeds from that go towards growing the show, covering hosting costs, and allow us to do those fun giveaways that we're going to start doing now and do some supporter-only incentives and things like that. As well as now that we are Twitter affiliates and we have the subscribe button. If you really like our Twitch, or not our Twitter affiliates, Twitch affiliates, I'm sorry. If you'd like our Twitch channel, we do go live every other Saturday night here for the podcast, as well as I stream 2 to 3 times a week doing random stuff on there. And I'm wondering if I'm going to start doing some X Primals and some Raid as well. As well as Luna also will stream occasionally on the channel as well. So if you like what we're doing on Twitch, consider subscribing there. You'll get subscriber-only emotes like the Lava Scorpion, like the Love Lore, and the Phoenix Down logo. So consider doing that as well. All of that goes towards, like I said, growing the show and subscriber-only privileges. So we appreciate all of that. So thank you very much, guys. So it's time for the show for shout-outs. Who wants to start? Don't all start at once.
Chirp.
Chili, go.
I want to shout out to Alistair, and a shout out to Cookie Nurse, a shout out to Asuna, a shout out to Evolved Male, aka your girlfriend's favourite streamer.
Twitch.tv/evolvedmale.
Yep. And yeah, that's my shout outs.
Hey, aren't you forgetting somebody?
Shout out to Klaus.
You never miss an episode, Chili. And yes, I even listen to you on PSU, and yes, I am listening to it. So I need to comment you guys as well, so you know that I'm listening. But
Yay!
and it's not just to hear me get shouted out. I have been listening. Like the last episode was just you and Neil blathering on for about an hour.
Yeah, because nobody else wanted to turn out. They all had real life things.
Damn real life.
What's real life?
But we reached 33,000 downloads last month in a month, so I'm going to be giving away I've just a $50 PSN voucher.
Oh wow, very nice.
It's easier. Either a $50 or a £50 or whatever your currency is. The game, the price of the games. So yeah.
So check them out at PlayStation. It's psu.com, correct?
Yeah,
is the website.
psu.podbean.com if need be.
Okay, if you want to go directly to the pod. They are also available out on Stitcher as well. That's where I listen.
Yeah.
It's a good show.
Thanks for the plug. Mm-hmm.
It's a good UK-based PlayStation podcast.
176 episodes.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And Chili's been on all of them except for one, I think.
Yeah.
He missed one episode.
Shit.
All right, Luna. Shout-outs.
Shout out to everyone over at Roll Hyperion. There's now a dead naked Aura on the couch.
A dead naked subscriber named Nicknar.
Yep.
So it's a Friday then. Well, Saturday, but
I am not cleaning up this many corpses again, guys.
I'm hiring a maid. That's it.
I shall dress up as a maid for you.
That's exactly what I was going to tell you. I was going to dress up Chili as a maid and say, Chili, clean up.
I clean now, yes. Chili clean, yes.
Chili need more lemon pledge.
Chili clean. Chili clean.
Chili need more lemon pledge.
Clean. Pledge. Me clean, yeah.
Sorry.
Chili has a sock. Chili is free.
Oh, I thought we were going for like the maid fetish kind of maid here.
All right. Continue,
but
Luna.
yeah.
But
But yeah. Shout out to Royal Hyperion, my LS and my role-playing FC. You guys have been doing awesome. They were camping with us for a little while for the Ixion thing, but then they kind of got bored, and they're off doing their own thing now. But yeah, shout out to these guys. I love them dearly. Shout out to Klaus, Sarah, and Chili for being awesome hosts and awesome co-hosts with
Luna is the best.
Aw.
Yeah, bad
Oh.
name TW in chat saying this is pretty neato. Praise Luna. Thank you for that. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
But yeah, other than that, just thank you everyone who came by to watch. I know we were steadily around 20 people tonight the whole
Yeah.
entire night,
It's pretty good.
which was pretty damn awesome, and we highly and greatly appreciate it. So thank you guys if you're able to tune in or listen to us at a later time. We love everyone who listens to us and who tunes into the podcast.
Definitely.
Other than that, as far as shout outs, that's pretty much it. But if you want to go and follow me over on my social medias, you can go and follow me over on Twitter at Luna_Vox. Otherwise, follow us here on Phoenix Down Radio at twitch.tv because, like Klaus said, I stream here sometimes too. I've been streaming some Lakshmi X, trying to get that damn dog. We're save it for another episode.
Want
Luna.
to buy doggo?
Want to buy doggo? But yeah,
Doggo is new burb.
I only have I got all my accessories from Lakshmi, and I only have 21 tokens on me right now. I've been doing it a lot.
I wonder what the combined doggo will be like. You know
It's
there's
just-
going to be one.
Well, yeah, it's probably just gonna be a
Cutie.
yellow glowy doggy.
Cute.
boring.
9 tails.
Sarah.
Sarah.
Vulpix?
Karama.
Sarah, your shout outs.
All right. Shout out to Killen there for giving that awesome question to talk about. Absolutely, anyone who's listening, send in any questions you have, even if you think they're simple, even if you think they're obvious. Like, this is what we do. We take the question, we say, hey, maybe we've learned stuff. Maybe we've put stuff together that we didn't understand before. Even taking old knowledge and re-examining it, we can often find new things. And then we can dive straight down the goddamn rabbit hole all the way to the center of Heidelin. It'll be
I
great.
like rabbit holes.
They're fun. Shout out to, quite frankly, everyone I have run to in duty roulettes over the last couple weeks. People have been uncommonly pleasant and nice and patient. Like, we did duty roulette trials. We did about 60 minutes worth of getting through Susano normal, and people were patient about it, and they took the time to learn and cooperate, and it was great. I don't know what's in the water, but keep drinking it.
I'm sorry, but I've been having the opposite effect this week. I got into a Lakshmi party. One guy, a dragoon, wait. He's like, no, wait the whole entire thing. We're done.
Well, I'm finding that a lot of the ex-primal parties are a lot more salty than the dungeon parties have
They
been.
are. Oh my god, they are.
I did hear about that. There was one guy who was like, even though everything else was going fine because they wanted to wipe the whole thing.
Yep, that's exactly
That's
what
a little
happened.
silly.
Gotta reset my cooldowns, guys. Gotta reset my cooldowns.
The thing is, people weren't paying attention, so they started jumping off the side. I'm like, no, we were fine. We could have raised you. You're fine. Come back.
But my cooldowns.
My stacks.
My stats.
But yeah,
Aw.
Be like
Go ahead, Sarah.
Be like my parties. Don't be like Luna's parties.
Yeah.
I'm pleasant.
Don't let me into your party, sir.
Okay.
I echo Sarah's sentiment on that because, like I said, I've been doing a lot of dungeons, leveling up Red Mage, and I've been very fortunate. Well, I've created a lot of the parties myself through Party Finder because Duty Finder as a DPS sucks donkey balls. It's terrible.
Oh, yeah, I've just been trading off with one of my friends. I level a healer while he's leveling a DPS, and then he levels a DPS while I level a tank.
Yeah, and I'm thinking I'm gonna bring up
Or-
White Mage or Warrior next. So
That sentence didn't make sense. Imagine that we're switching off which one is getting the instinct.
No, I know exactly what you were saying, and I think most of our listeners got that as well.
Yeah, I just realized that I actually swapped the roles as I was saying stuff.
No, we knew what you meant.
Yep.
At least someone does.
Right.
So,
any
Klaus,
others?
how about...
I was going to say, Sarah had any others yet?
No.
Hey, I thank Kildare and I thank people in the Duty Finder. Like, technically, shout-outs to the rest of you punks. I guess you're okay. Baka.
Back.
Back.
I want to echo this shout out to Kylander as well. Thank you for the sub. Greatly appreciated. And like I said, wonderful question. Great messaging back and forth with you on Patreon. I hope that we've helped answer some of your question and that we're giving you, what you really are looking for when it comes to, supporting a podcast. So let us know what we can do to help, things that we can improve and all that stuff. So thank you for that. We appreciate all that. Shout out to my co-hosts, Luna, Sarah, and Chili. I really can't do this without you guys. You guys do a wonderful job week in and week out. You keep me in line and you keep me from rambling too much.
Oh, we try.
We try.
It's a struggle.
I want to throw a shout out
struggle,
again to the group on Excalibur that I cleared Susano with, the Tank Bros Static. It was a lot of fun. I had a great time streaming with you guys that night. It is video on demand on Twitch here for the next week and a half or so you can check that out if you want. We had a good time. And shout out to everybody who's listening to us out on the podcast. Like I said, if you are enjoying the podcast, stop by Twitch sometime and check it out live, twitch.tv/Phoenix Down Radio every other Saturday night. So if there's nothing else, like I said, I guess you can follow me on Twitter at PHXDN_Klaus. So if there's nothing else from everybody, I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. I hope you enjoyed our discussion on the jobs. And like I said, don't get too salty about it. They will be changing. But like I said, it's nice to kind of air these things out and have some discussion on it so we can come up with good ideas on how to really fix the problem instead of just bitching. So,
and if nothing else, it's nice to find out that no, you're not crazy. It really is harder to hold hate or things like that.
Exactly.
It is harder to keep healing.
It's not just learning the job. It's maybe there is an issue. So, but keep trying. Don't give up.
Being cheesy.
Oh my god! I just realized I was doing a thing on Astrologian in Temple of Karn, and like all of my tanks lately have been taking so much damage. It's just hard to keep up. It's like I just thought that like okay, they're relearning how to do stuff. I didn't consider that maybe it actually is harder now.
All right, well,
sorry, I just put that together.
Let's see what the future brings for us, guys. So, for my co-hosts, Luna Vox, for Sarah Tomono, and for Chili, I'm Klaus Nightbringer, wishing everybody a wonderful evening. Thanks for stopping by. Take care.
Phoenix Down Radio is a production of PhoenixDownRadio.com and Illusion Productions. Final Fantasy XIV and Eorzea are trademarks of Square Enix. In-game content for Phoenix Down Radio is the copyright of Square Enix. Opening music for Phoenix Down Radio is provided by Guilty Gear Rock You. Check out the Metal Chocobo theme cover and many other music videos at youtube.com/Guilty Gear Rock You. Closing music for this episode is provided by Guitar Wanker 90. Please check out their full version of Matoya's Cave and other rock video game covers at youtube.com/Guitar Wanker 90. The views and opinions expressed in this episode are those of Phoenix Down Radio and its hosts and do not reflect the views of Square Enix.